Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nelson Araujo, your assembly member, but also your Democratic nominee for Secretary of State. And with your help, in about 26 hours, we could potentially make history here in Nevada by electing me as your first openly LGBTQ person ever to be elected statewide. But we have a lot of work to do, and I know that everyone in this room has been working tirelessly to make sure that on Election Day, we show President Donald Trump and his administration that in Nevada, the buck stops here. Thank you. That we elect folks like folks in the Secretary of State's office that are going to do everything that they can in their power to protect our voting rights, so that shenanigans like the ones that are being played in Georgia don't step any foot here in Nevada. And look, this is it. All of us have been working tirelessly, but we need you now more than ever. We know that the stakes are high. We know that this is the most consequential election of our times, and we know that the test is truly all in us. Whether we're going to do everything within our power to reach our neighbors, our family members, anyone that we approach, and remind them that if we don't vote, we won't win. So this is our charge, and this is how we're going to respond on Election Day with a great big victory. But I need to hear from you. Are you all ready to vote? Are you ready to get out the vote? Are you ready to make history here in Nevada? All right. Well, now I have the honor of introducing a dear friend of mine. We have been on the campaign trail nonstop since we started, and I am so excited for her to defeat her opponent, not just because her opponent is not qualified to be a congressman, but because she is extremely qualified to represent Congressional District 3. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next Congresswoman, Susie Lee. Thanks. I got out of myself.
That's right. First of all, thank you all. There are so many familiar faces in this room, and all of you have been out working so hard for months. And Republicans are getting nervous. Okay, Donald Trump's sending troops to the border. He's doing everything he can because he knows we're going to take back the House. We're going to win this. And HRC was with me from the very beginning. And I'm going to give Danny his 7th loss. And I got to point out Norm, who's been here every time I've walked in here. Our super volunteer. You know, Norm has been here working so hard, and really, I mean, he epitomizes what's on the ballot. And he has been working, you know, equality's on the ballot, Medicare and Social Security's on the ballot, healthcare's on the ballot, but more importantly than anything, the soul of this country is what's on the ballot. And you guys all know this as much as I do. I know you've been working as hard as you possibly can, and we got to keep it up for a little over 24 hours. We'll get there. And I can't wait to call Jackie Rosen, our next state senator, and Nelson, not state, U.S. senator, and Nelson, Secretary of State. And I am so proud and honored to introduce Chad Griffin. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susie. By the way, I walked in and I said, Susie, you have on the coolest T-shirt in the room. And then she told me it was an HRC T-shirt. How are we doing, Nevada? Yeah? Are you fired up and ready to win? Yeah? Well, let me tell you, I know a lot of people have walked through this room, and they have looked at you and they have told you that this is the most important election of your lives. But don't listen to them. Listen to me. This election is actually the most important election of our lives, right? So in just a few short hours from now, polls will open. And the other side, the anti-equality side, what they don't have is you. They don't have this army of volunteers knocking on doors, making phone calls. When you get a non-answer, you pick up the phone and you call them again an hour later, right? That's how we win this. We've got to make this election of no regrets. So in these next many hours, until that last poll closes tomorrow evening, we've got to make certain that we knock on every door we can knock on, make every phone call we can make. And for those of you who have another dollar left in your pocket, for God's sakes, donate it to one of these pro-equality champions behind me. So I've got a few questions for you. I've got a few more questions for you. Are you ready to have a pro-equality champion in Susie Lee be the next co-sponsor of the Equality Act? Yep. And are you ready to make history by electing Nelson Araujo the next Secretary of State of this great state? And in this Senate race, the stakes have never been higher. So are you ready for a pro-equality champion that will protect our health care and pass the Equality Act? Yeah? Then I know you are ready for your next Senator, Jackie Rosen.
Oh. It's really for all of you. Wait, is it still on? It's on. It's on. I'm connected. Okay. I couldn't hear. Didn't sound loud enough. I'm telling you, it's really not me. It's all of you. Where do we get all this energy? It's from each and every one of you who knocks doors, who makes phone calls, who stands up, who speaks out, and doesn't stop. Every one of you who knows about social action and social justice. Every one of you that wants equal rights and human rights and kindness and wants to vote for something and build a foundation of positivity instead of a crumbling foundation that's built on hate. So every person here is for something. If I go around this room, what are you for? You're for health care. You're for voting rights, LGBTQ rights. You're for equal rights, civil rights. I could just go on and on. Reproductive rights. Right. Everyone here for something. And that's why we're going to win. Because the other side, what are they for? They're just for tearing things down and tearing people apart. And that's not who we are, and it's not what we're made of, and it's not what Nevada is. Because in 2016, we showed everybody how to turn a state blue. We sent the first Latina to the Senate. We defeated Danny Tarkanian for the 6th time. Susie's going to make it the 7th. We were part of the first all-woman winning ticket, and we're going to make history again this time with a female majority state legislator. And we'll be the 5th state to have 2 women senators. So everywhere I go and everyone I talk to, all my colleagues in the House and the Senate, they said, "What's the secret sauce in Nevada?" I said, "No secret. Just come walk over. You've been here a lot of times, Chad. Just come meet my friends, and you'll see the secret sauce is each and every one of you. And you are just amazing. Everything you've done, less than 24 hours to go, and we are going to show the country that shining blue light again when we do it tomorrow night." So before we send you out to knock on those doors, we're not just repealing and replacing Dean Heller. We're going to repeal and replace a whole bunch of them. So, time's a wasting. Let's go. Let's knock some doors. So remember this: we vote, we win. We vote, we win. We vote, we win.